Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another episode of the X Factor Sports Podcast, Season 5, Episode 7. It's your host, Jay Mondane. We are on YouTube and Rumble every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. You can catch the audio on all platforms that let you listen to podcasts. Be sure to check out the X Factor Sports Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody. Check us out. All right. Got a great show for y'all tonight. Glad y'all could tune in. We're going to get into the quick news right off the bat, but we're also going to dive into the NBA versus NFL beef continues with the new Christmas Day schedules coming out. And we're also going to talk about these division winners. So before we get into that, we will get into this quick news and the layup lines with the WNBA, of course, ladies first. They are off of Olympic break. The WNBA is back in full swing and is looking like a crazy playoff race. The New York Liberty look like the best team in basketball. They only lost 4 games this entire season. They've already clinched a playoff spot before anybody else has clinched a playoff spot, so congrats to them. The super team looks like they can do it this year. Last year was the first year of this super team with Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart. Looks like they are moving in the right direction and putting it all together at the right time. So congrats to them. Our Vegas Aces looking to three-peat, but they're like the 4th spot in the WNBA. If you check the WNBA standings, they don't do it like any other league because there's only 12 teams. So 8 teams make the playoffs, and they just give you the top 12 teams based off record. They don't do East versus West. They just do 1 through 8, make the playoffs. So with that being said, the Vegas Aces have the 4th best record in the league, and the Minnesota Lynx are actually above them if we're doing East and West. They won the Commissioner Cup early in the year. So if the Aces want a three-peat, they got some adversity. They got some mountains to climb. Connecticut Sun are second. And then, obviously, the New York Liberty running away with it. So congrats to them. But also, our favorite rookies this year who kind of made a big splash, TV ratings, social media, everything that comes with the WNBA, getting more eyes on the women's game. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, the Indiana Fever in the playoffs as it stands as the number 7 team, and the Chicago Sky with Angel Reese are at number 8. So hopefully they can hold on and keep those spots. Atlanta Dream is coming up behind the Chicago Sky. But with a few weeks left, I feel like Chicago can hold on and keep that 8th spot and get in the playoff. Their reward is going to be to play against the New York Liberty, but at least they get in with the rookie Angel Reese. She gets some playoff experience, so that's good for Chicago. All right. Over to Major League Baseball. So they got a wild card race heating up too. Obviously, baseball playoffs don't start to October, but we starting to see how this wild card race is going to shape up, who's winning these divisions as it stands right now. Still got over a month left before we get into the playoffs. And the White Sox decided to be mathematically eliminated from the playoffs already. Not a damn leaf fell off the trees yet, and they already out of playoff contention. They probably break a record and lose 120 games. Who knows? But sad year for them. But on the flip side, the division they're in, the American League Central, can get 3 teams in the playoffs with the Guardians winning the division, and then you got the Royals and the Twins vying for wild card spots. So that'd be cool to see. At least the American League Central will be well represented in the playoffs. Just like the National League Central or the National League West, they may also get 3 teams also over there. The Dodgers, best team in baseball, like they always are in the regular season. Mookie Betts is back off injury. Hopefully they can push and keep this going into the playoffs. They always seem to do well in the regular season. It's the playoff woes that they have that makes everybody disappointed in them. So we'll see what happens with them. But back in the American League, the Yankees are the best team in the American League. And I don't care if you hate the Yankees or not, love them, whatever. If you're a sports fan, you have to admit when the Yankees are good, it's good for baseball. Everybody knows who the Yankees are. They're one of the most recognizable logos, teams in the world, and it's good for business when the Yankees are in the playoffs and when the Yankees are good. It's good for baseball. Same thing with the NBA. Even if you don't like the Lakers, it's good for the NBA if the Lakers are good and in playoff contention because they're on television. So shout out to the Yankees. They got a super team of their own. We could get a New York Liberty WNBA champion, and we can get a Yankees champion. So New York could be popping right now in the fall. We'll see what happens with that. But you love seeing those marquee teams on TV. All right. So that's all we got for quick news. We're going to shift to this. We know what time it is now. We're in mid-August. Football season right around the corner. So the question is, how many fantasy football leagues is too many? All right. I struggle with this every year. Okay. I'm in 4 leagues right now. I'm trying to fight my way out of these leagues. But my homies, they want me to play in them. I can't say no to them. I love fantasy football. But in a perfect world, I would just play in 2 leagues. The league that I'm the commissioner in, that Miss D won last year. So I got to get that back. I got to get that trophy from her because she got bragging rights all through the house. But that league, and then I'm in a dynasty league, which if you're going to do fantasy football, that's the way to do it. Stay in one traditional league and then get in a dynasty league that'll last as long as you and your friends like football. And just ride it out like that. If you get too greedy, like I am, and you love sports as much as me, you find yourself in 4 or 5 leagues. But how many leagues is too many? I'm going to tell you right now, 4 is too damn many. All right? I got homies that are in 5 leagues or were in 5 leagues, and I don't know how they did it. It gets to a point where you basically rooting against yourself. You're rooting against your own interests because you're in other leagues going crazy because you got a player playing against another player in your league. So that's kind of why I stopped doing it. I ended up falling into 2 more leagues this year, but one of the leagues I'm in is a 2 quarterback league. Sounded interesting to me, so I got into that. And then another league is a big money league, so obviously I want to win some money, so I'm in that league. But I got to find a way to scale it back. But you guys let me know what you think as far as leagues go. How many leagues is too many? Because I want to actually watch football and enjoy it. I want to watch the Bears play and not root against individual players because I'm matched up against somebody this week playing with my actual players on a fantasy team. So it's just crazy. Fantasy football is a big deal. It's great for the sport. I love what it does for football, and I love what it does for fans. People that are not football fans or just kind of being introduced to football, fantasy football is a great thing for them. You get to learn individual players. If you're a fan of just one team, you start to learn about other players on other teams and how good they are, and you start to understand the game more. Now there's a vested interest, right? You have this fantasy team with individual players from other teams. Now you're going to start being interested in where they're playing, who they play against. You start learning the divisions. You start learning all these things about football. So there's a lot of good in football. Where it gets crazy is when you start getting 3, 4, 5 fantasy football leagues at the same time. We need to put a cork on that for sure. And I'm talking about everybody, me included for sure. I'm at the front lines of that. I'm in too many leagues. But also this, how many of y'all are tired of doing these drafts before the preseason or during the first 2 weeks of the preseason? Because I think that these fantasy league, like ESPN, Yahoo, all these places you can do leagues, they need to put a cap on it. Like you can't start drafting until the last preseason game, the week of the last preseason game. Why do you say that, Jay? Why can't we draft it when we want to? Because it should just be called the Andrew Luck rule. Do y'all remember that years ago? Everybody was drafting super early, picking Andrew Luck as the number 1 pick, number 2 pick, whatever. Andrew Luck gets hurt. He's out for the year. And you stuck with him. So that's the reason we have that rule. We basically laugh at people and kind of joke like, oh, I guess you're going to go pick Andrew Luck. The reason that should be a rule, though, is because if you're drafting too early and players get hurt, Justin Herbert, right? Justin Herbert fell in these fantasy drafts because he's hurt. He's got this plantar fasciitis. We don't know when he's coming back. But he may be a steal down the road. So there's the positive side. But also on the flip side, if you pick these players so early, week 1, week 2 of the preseason, and then we don't know what we're getting when the season starts, it's just kind of I don't know if I like that. So in the league that I'm the commissioner of, the way we do our draft is right before week 1. Pretty much that Saturday or that Sunday before week 1, before the Thursday night game is when we like to do it. So we know everybody. We saw everybody in the preseason. We scouted. We saw who's healthy, all these things, rookies. If we want them, cool. Now we can rock and roll with the fantasy draft. So that's just a couple things. Y'all let me know how many drafts is too many, number 1. And 2, do we need to stop with the drafts in early August and push them to closer to Labor Day? All right. The X Factor Sports Podcast, Season 5, Episode 7. We are on YouTube and Rumble and on all the audio podcast platforms. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe and check us out. All right. Now let's pivot to this. So we talk NFL. This is going to be an NFL heavy show because we're getting close to kickoff to the season. So now you're going to get the X Factor Sports predictions of all of the division winners in the NFL this season. All right. This is who we think is going to win the divisions and why. All right. So we're going to start North, South, East, and West. We're going to start in the AFC. So we're going to go with the North first. All right. So in the North, we got the Baltimore Ravens winning this division. One of the toughest divisions in football, but the Baltimore Ravens won it last year, and I feel like they've gotten better with Derrick Henry. I think they've gotten better with Zay Flowers with another season under his belt. If Mark Andrews can stay healthy, he was in a car accident a couple weeks ago, but they said he walked away and should be good to go for week 1. So I think the Ravens are the best team in this division. I think Lamar Jackson's the best quarterback in this division. And I wouldn't say they have the best coach. I think Mike Tomlin's the best coach, which is why I have the Steelers third. I know people may be saying, how you got the Steelers third with all this quarterback controversy? We don't know who's going to play and who's not. Mike Tomlin, the coach, you got to respect it. He's a winning coach. He always has a winning record. I feel like the Browns will take a step back. I think it'll be a competitive division. I just think the Browns might lose the head-to-head or the tie-break to the Steelers. The Steelers get third. But I got the Ravens winning this division. The Bengals, I don't feel like they can beat the Ravens. And their schedule is going to be tough also. So with that going on, I don't know. I just don't trust the Bengals winning this division. I got the Ravens taking the North. All right. AFC South. Now in the South, the Texans, CJ Stroud showed you everything you needed to see from him out of a rookie. And now he's got more weapons over there with Stephon Diggs to go along with Tank Dell, Nico Collins. New running backs, like they look great. Defense is going to be better. So I got the Texans winning this division in the South. The Jags, I don't really trust Jacksonville. Yes, they got Gabe Davis. They got some more weapons. I just don't know if they can win this division. The Texans look really good. I think they build off the playoff success from last season. The Colts will actually be better with Richardson back, Anthony Richardson back. I think that defense was good. And then they got their running back, Jonathan Taylor, back, healthy. So I think the Colts will do well. They won't be they'll be in playoff contention, but they won't make it just because the AFC is so deep. And then the Titans. Losing Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill ain't going to be the quarterback no more with Will Levis. I see a bad season for the Titans. Nuke Hopkins is hurt already, DeAndre Hopkins. It just doesn't look good in Tennessee. I don't know how many wins they give you, but I don't think they give you more wins than any of these other 3 teams. So I got the Texans winning this division. I think the Texans win this division by a few games too. All right, now over to the AFC East. All right. I got the Miami Dolphins winning this division strictly because Josh Allen lost so many weapons in Buffalo. Stephon Diggs leaving, Gabe Davis leaving, Devin Singletary leaving. Lost a lot of people on the offensive side. They may be running a 2 tight end offense, maybe like back in the day with Gronk and Hernandez. I don't know what we're going to see out of this team. I feel like the Dolphins are going to be better this year, though, and I feel like the Dolphins will win this division. They want their revenge from last year after choking in Week 18 to Buffalo. So I feel like they will come back focused. Tua's got his money, so they got all of the business out of the way financially. Now they can go out and play ball. Everybody's healthy. I got the Dolphins winning. The Jets, I told y'all last week, I don't believe in the Jets. Everything is riding on this 41-year-old quarterback who's played 4 snaps in the last 500 days. He's not playing any preseason games. And everybody is talking about the Jets is making the playoffs. I don't even have the Jets as the second best team in their own division. So I got them third. And the only reason they're not fourth is because I don't think anybody's going to be worse than the Patriots. The Patriots might be this year's Carolina Panthers. All right. This post-Brady era, I mean, we're starting to see who won the marriage. He probably didn't win in his own marriage personally, but in his football marriage, he won. He won the divorce for sure. All right, because the Patriots look real bad. We don't know what Drake May is going to be, Jacoby Brissett. Like, I don't know what to think of the Patriots. I don't think they're going to be good. And this might be the Patriots from back in the 90s when they're at the bottom of the division again. So give me the Dolphins for the AFC East. Then we got the AFC West. All right. The Chiefs will win this. I don't think anybody is going to deny or bet against this. I think all the other teams in the division know it. And this is pretty simple. So the Chiefs have a lock on this division. But the reason they have a lock on the division is strictly because of stability. Right? Andy Reid has been with this program for almost 10 years now. I think it's right at a decade, pretty close. Right? They've won 8 or 9 straight division titles. They have stability at the quarterback position. They have stability in their offensive line. They draft well. The organization is all lockstep with each other. They're looking to get a three-peat. I just think they're going to make a statement, and they're just better. They're better than every other team in this division. The Broncos is going to surprise some people. That's why I got them at 2. I think Bo Nix, he might be the steal of this year's draft in terms of quarterbacks. You could say Michael Penix, but Michael Penix won't play right away, and Bo Nix will. And I think Bo Nix will be the steal of this draft. I think he's going to have a good year, but they're not ready to take the next step to win a division. Like, none of these teams in the AFC West are built to win that division yet. They'll show bright spots. Like, Bo Nix will have a good year. I think he'll show some signs of good football. The Chargers with Harbaugh there, brand new coach, new system. They lose Keenan Allen. They lose their running back as well to Washington. Justin Herbert comes out hurt. Like, I just feel like it's going to be a lot. They lose Mike Williams. Like, they lost so much that Jim Harbaugh has to work with. So I just think the Chargers are going to fall back. But then the Raiders are going to Raiders. So I picked the Raiders last just because of their quarterback situation. I don't think Aiden O'Connell will play better than Justin Herbert. I think Herbert's the better quarterback. Therefore, the head-to-head, the Chargers will probably win both of those games, which will give them the nod to get that third place spot. The Raiders, man, I don't know. Devontae Adams might be gone before Thanksgiving. He might end up with the Jets. There's rumors that he want to get traded. Obviously, he's not going to say that because he's a pro's pro. But he might be gone by Turkey Day. So with that being said, I got the Raiders last in that division. So that's what we got in the AFC. We got Ravens, Texans, Dolphins, Chiefs. All right. Now let's move over to the NFC. In the NFC North, I know my Bears fans going to hate to see this, but I got to be real. I'm a real fan, but I'm also a football fan too. Okay. So the Detroit Lions, talk about building off of last year's success, like the Texans in the AFC. The Lions are going to build off this success. They were plays away from going to a Super Bowl. They had the 49ers on the ropes at halftime. And kind of let go of the rope. I think the Lions come back motivated. I think they will be better this year. Sam Laporta kind of had a coming out party as a rookie tight end. I think they will be good. Jahmyr Gibbs, rookie running back. I think they all come back with some experience and they look good. Everybody is falling under Dan Campbell's leadership. They got a good thing going. So I'm gonna pick the Lions to win the North. All right. The only reason I have the Packers at 2 over the Bears will improve from last year, but I don't know if the Bears are a good enough team yet. If they believe that they're good enough to win these games. There's a difference between being a good team and knowing you're a good team, right? So there's something about the Packers, like they understand, they have complete confidence in Jordan Love. They have complete confidence in what they're doing. They have a year of experience with him now. I think he'll be more comfortable. He ended the season last season very comfortable, and I think they continue to roll with that. I don't think they're better than the Lions, but I think they will be better than the Bears and the Vikings. But the Bears will be improved, much improved. They got a weaker schedule this year based off of last year's season. So I think the Bears win more games. I just think they fall under the Packers slightly. And then the Vikings at 4. J.J. McCarthy out for the year, MCL tear. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Kirk Cousins is in Atlanta. I don't know what to say about the Vikings, but they're going to be in trouble in this division. This is the most competitive division in football. I wouldn't be surprised if these first 3 teams win 9+ games, and the Vikings are going to have to contend with that. They could mess around and be 0-6 or 1-5 in the division alone. That's why I have them at 4. Over to the NFC South, arguably the worst division in football, again, for another year. I got the Saints winning this division, though. Again, another quarterback coming to a new team, and this is his second year with him. I think he gets a lot more comfortable, Derek Carr. And I believe that they continue to roll. And we haven't heard anything out of Mike for the wide receiver for the Saints. We haven't heard anything out of him. Alvin Kamara looks good. I think that they have some chemistry there. Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Saints. I have them winning this division simply because the division is bad. All right. The Falcons will be good. They'll be better. Kind of like the Bears. They'll be more improved than they were last year. I think the Falcons will win some games. Arthur Smith gone. They got a new coach, but I think they will play better. Kirk Cousins will kind of stabilize the locker room, but I don't think they'll be better than the Saints. So I got them at 2. The Bucs take a step back. They went to the playoffs, won their division at 9-8. I don't think 9-8 wins this division this year, and I don't think the Bucs are good enough to win more than 9 games. So with that being said, I have them at 3, and then the Panthers, until they figure out what they're doing on the offensive end, them losing DJ Moore hurt them a lot more than people probably think. So I appreciate y'all for giving them to us. But yeah, I just feel bad for Bryce Young. I think it's another year where he might play better, but they're just not a good football team. So they are in the cellar in the NFC South. Over to the NFC East. All right. The Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles will win this division. And I gave y'all kind of a tease last week about the Cowboys. I don't even think the Cowboys make the playoffs this year. Call it a hot take, call it whatever you want. I don't think they make the playoffs. Looking at the NFC, 7 teams make it. I think the Lions are better. I think the Packers are better. They proved they're better already. The Saints will obviously make the playoffs because they win their division. The Eagles, the Rams, the Niners. There you go. That's the 7 teams right there. So I think the Cowboys are the odd man out. They'll be the second team in this division just because the Giants and the Commanders are in it. Rookie quarterback Jalen Daniels. And then the Giants are just terribly bad. And they gave away Saquon Barkley in the division. I think Daniel Jones loses his job by week 4. So they're at the bottom of the division. The Cowboys can't figure out contracts. We still got to get CeeDee Lamb signed. We still got to get Michael Parsons signed. They're going to let Mike McCarthy coach this thing out. I just don't believe that the Cowboys internally have it figured out. And for that reason, I think the Eagles kind of atoned for what happened last year with that meltdown, and they win the division with the new weapon, Saquon Barkley. And then the last division, the NFC West. The San Francisco 49ers, even though they are dealing with this thing with Brandon Ayuk, I think they get this deal done. I know publicly it doesn't look like they're angry, but I think they're angry behind the scenes. But I think they get this deal done. They understand they need Brandon Ayuk to get to where they're trying to go. And if Brandon Ayuk wants to actually be productive, I think he understands that he has to buckle down and play. I hope he doesn't miss any games, but I think Brandon Ayuk stays a 49er, and I got them winning this division. It will be competitive with the Rams. The reason I have the Rams second is because Sean McVay's record against the 49ers, specifically Kyle Shanahan, is not great. He's like 1-8 or something like that. Like, it's a really bad record. So because of that, this head-to-head matchup, you got to give the nod to the Niners. They're bringing everybody back. They're probably the best team in terms of talent in the NFC, arguably the NFL. So I got the 49ers winning the West. I think the Cardinals will actually be better than the Chargers this year. The Cardinals will be better than the Seahawks this year, even though the Seahawks have new quarterback play. I think that the Cardinals will be better off with Kyler Murray. And he just got Marvin Harrison III. I think Marvin Harrison will come out and ball out. I think they'll be good. So I got the Arizona Cardinals being the third team. Again, they're not going to make the playoffs with Marvin Harrison, but they are going to be much better. Geno Smith with the Seahawks. He's hurt already coming into the season. Again, these preseasons, guys are hurt. But I think Geno Smith and the Seahawks will play a little better. I don't think they'll do what they did last year. They lose their coach. So I don't think they do much better. And I got the Cardinals actually superseding them in this division. So there you have it. We got the Lions, Saints, Eagles, and the 49ers winning their divisions in the NFC. You guys let me know what you think about these divisions. Am I wrong? Am I tripping? Am I crazy? Am I exactly right? Let me know who you think's winning these divisions going into the regular season. All right? Let's switch over to this. We're talking a lot about the NFL. We're going to stay with the NFL, but we're going to throw the NBA in the middle of this, okay? Between the NBA and the NFL, now that the NFL has Christmas Day games, which are y'all watching on Christmas Day? Are we watching NFL or are we watching NBA? All right? For those who don't know or ain't looked at the calendar, Christmas is on a Wednesday this year, all right? Like I've been saying for years, the NFL is beefing with the NBA somehow. They get mad disrespectful now, putting games on Wednesdays to try to derail the NBA. So which one y'all gonna watch on Christmas Day? Y'all gonna roll with the NFL or y'all gonna roll with the NBA? Now, the NFL, they got noon game. Chiefs play somebody. It ain't even a good team. I don't think they play. They play, who they got? The Chiefs got at noon. They are playing against the Steelers. The Steelers ain't gonna be good. Especially by Christmas, we're going to know who the Steelers are at that point. Mike Tomlin might have them winning some games, but they ain't going to be great. And then the second game, which will be a better game because it'll be Ravens and Texans. That game may have playoff implications. That'll be a good game at 3 o'clock. So those are the two games that are being played. Now, how the hell I'm going to watch them two games? When I got on Christmas Day, you wake up. Now, the Chiefs play at noon. So obviously me and Dee are going to be in separate parts of the house on Christmas Day because she's going to be clearly watching that. But for me, you got Wemby and Jalen Brunson playing soon as I wake up on Christmas Day with the Spurs and the Knicks. Wemby get a Christmas Day game, rightfully so, right? Then the next game I get is Ant versus Luca after that game. And then they give us Paul George and Joel Embiid and the Sixers go up against the defending NBA champs. So we got just 3 blockbuster games back to back to back. I'm not going to have time for football. Maybe I'll hear it on the TV in another part of the house. But we watching basketball over here. Christmas Day is NBA Day. All right, NFL, so fall back. This is how much the NFL don't like y'all. Not only are they giving you these 2 games, this is how arrogant they are, I should say. Not that they don't like y'all, but the arrogance of the NFL. They not even having these games on CBS or Fox like they normally do. They got it on Netflix this year. So you got to stream this. If you ain't got Netflix, you can't even watch it. But that's how arrogant they are. They just know people going to watch it. So you know what? We going to stream these games on Netflix on Christmas Day. Not even on regular TV. So I'm going to watch the NBA. Like I said, I'm going to get my Wemby and Jalen Brunson. Then I'm going to get my Luka, Kyrie, and Ant-Man. Then I'm going to get my Paul George, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid after that. Take me a little break. Get me a second plate of food. And then they're going to give me, who, the Lakers? I got the Lakers after that. So you get LeBron and Steph, chapter 88, or however many times they done played each other. But it's LeBron and Steph. So you definitely want to see that after what we saw in the Olympics, right? That's going to be primetime TV. And then they capped the night off with KD versus Jokic. Huh? what? Why would I sit back? What? Wait. I'm going to wait till Sunday. I'll watch the Bears on Sunday and all these other teams on Sunday. But don't mess with my Christmas, all right? That is a Christmas gift from the NBA to everybody else. You get 5 games. You get superstars from noon to 11 p.m. all day, 5 games. Why would we mess that up? So the NFL, obviously, like I said, trying to take over and slide in on a Wednesday. How disrespectful are you that you slide in on a Wednesday for NFL? So y'all let me know which one y'all watching. What we doing? All right. The NFL is reserved for Turkey Day. I don't mess with, listen, y'all got it. All right. I don't even talk NBA on Turkey Day because I know that that's the NFL's day. But on Christmas Day, NFL got to fall back. All right. Them 2 games, y'all can go on somewhere with those. Okay. They on Netflix, we'll record them. I Miss D, tell me what happened. But we got NBA on Christmas Day. Y'all let me know which one y'all watching. Are we watching the 5 primetime games on Christmas Day for the NBA, or are we going Netflix and chill with the NFL? Y'all tell me what y'all going to do. All right. I already know what Miss D doing. That's fine. I'm glad we got more TVs in the house. All right. You are watching the X Factor Sports Podcast on YouTube and Rumble. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody we're on every Wednesday night. Prime TV, Prime streaming, whatever you want to call it. And any of the places you can listen to podcasts, you can check out the X Factor Sports Podcast. Also, you can go check out old seasons. We're on season 5 already. Somehow somebody is continuing to let me do this every week. So you can catch everything that I've done up until this point on the X Factor Sports Podcast. All right. Now, before we get up out of here, you know we always got to hit y'all with that 2-minute. So, again, thanks for tuning in. But for the 2-minute warning, this is about high standards, okay? Keeping your standards high. And don't settle for something because it's just available to you, right? So, if you are setting out for goals or you have a certain standard, it doesn't matter what the standard is or what it's in. If you are set up with a high standard, don't take the easy way out, right? Stick to that standard. You will reap the benefits and the rewards of having those high standards. Do not settle for something because it's available or settle for something because it's easy, all right? You're lowering your own standards. I was just watching something the other day, and they were talking about people that lie, right? Like, you're not lying to me, you're lying to yourself. Like, you got to wake up with that lie every day, right? Standards are kind of the same way. Like, you set the standard, so don't take the easy way out. You have to live with that. Only you have to live with it. It's your standard. So if you set standards and they're high, don't bail out and don't take the easy way out by settling for something just because it's available or just because it's right there. If the standard and the goal is here, don't take the shortcut here, right? Reach your full potential and reach for those high standards, right? If your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough, right? So keep those high standards up and don't shortcut yourself because you're only doing it to yourself. All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. This is Jay Mondane of the X Factor Sports Podcast, Season 5, Episode 7. You do not want to miss Episode 8. Next week, I got a surprise for y'all. Next week, you don't want to miss it. If you like the apparel, you can always go to the X Factor Sports store or message me. I'll be sure to get it out to you. We got all colors and sizes of shirts, and we got the black and grays on the snapbacks. So be sure to tune in, get more information, click on the QR codes. You can always get to us at our store and get more gear. But like I said, Episode 8 next week, you do not want to miss. I got a surprise for y'all. Tune in to the X Factor Sports Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.